Mm-hmm.
Welcome, Black Hollywood Live fans. You're watching the first BHL Aftershow for Greenleaf. Today we are joined by Sophia Greenleaf, also known as Desiree Ross, so stay tuned for more. Welcome, Black Hollywood Live fans. Thank you for joining us. Today we have our special guest, Desiree Ross, and the rest of the panel here. My name is Shaka Smith. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Shaka Strong.
Hey guys, it's your host Stacy. Thanks so much for joining us. Thank you for all your tweets last week. It was amazing. You can check me out on Twitter and Instagram at OneTakeStace.
You already know y'all can find me everywhere at Mr. Carter.
Yeah.
And Desiree, where can they find you?
They can find me at a lot of different places.
In the mall.
Yeah. But on Instagram, you can find me at Desiree Ross with an underscore. On Twitter, you can find me at the Desiree Ross. And on Facebook, I am official Desiree Ross. So if you can remember all of those, then you'll be set.
Yeah.
We're so glad you're able to join us. Yeah, we just got through watching in the trailer with Desiree, and it was so much fun live tweeting with you right now. Getting a little inside scoop.
She heard all
on the
my
show.
Screams. My gas.
We were both screaming.
Right.
Yeah, what an episode.
I know.
What do you think of it from your perspective?
Oh my God.
Girl, give me the tea.
Yeah.
I know. Because, like, it's, oh my God. There's just so much stuff. And even me, like, we've already filmed this. I've already read all of the scripts. But it's like when I'm watching it and I'm like, oh my, I can't believe you just did that.
I
Like, what in the
know.
world?
I
This was
know.
almost a year ago that you filmed this. What, 8 months?
Yeah, it's like, well, like, you know, I don't know exactly when, but we started in October of last year.
Mhm.
And then we finished filming in March. And now, I mean, it's what month is it? I think it's almost July.
Yes.
Yeah,
You
pretty
were
much,
right on the
July,
money.
You know,
tomorrow,
it's
pretty
summer
much
for
Friday. Yeah.
It's summer for me, so you know I'm not really keeping track of the dates.
Right.
Yeah, this was a big episode. Like, you cut up a lot in this episode. You really, you
Right.
kind of came out of
Miss
yourself.
Spice.
This, I think this was a
Sophia.
tamer Sophia. The first,
Yeah.
when I first met Sophia, I was like, okay, so we're gonna have some problems with her. Because we've already seen 1 through 3. So second was when I was like, oh, here's the cut up time.
Yeah.
Today I wasn't as mad. You got away with some stuff.
Yeah, and
I was actually surprised.
Yeah,
I was
she got away
surprised
with
at
some
the
stuff.
attitude.
Yeah.
I didn't see it coming at all.
True.
I
Okay.
mean, she's really good at heart.
Yeah.
It's just like it's all like new to her, and she's being thrown into this like different culture and living with these different people. That's her family, and thrown into a different religion. So basically, like, her mom just dragged her out of wherever, and then telling her like she can't even go out and hang out with friends at a protest and stand up for something that matters to her. So she's just mad about everything. Mad that she's even there. Mad that her mom said no. So
No, that makes a
I
lot of
mean,
sense.
I can't blame her. I'm like, oh, Sophia, you have a point, but
I
maybe.
feel you.
But that Zora though.
Yeah, Zora's got
Zora,
Yeah.
you need to come in next week.
Yeah.
Because the two of you together.
Oh, Lord, we're trouble.
She's a mess.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like, and don't even get me. I can't back up the drugs though. You know, like
Yeah.
from
Yeah,
episode.
that's intense.
Yeah. From episode 1 and 3. Oh,
Yeah,
Ritalin
even this
and marijuana.
episode,
It
Yeah.
was just so quick, like, and I get
It
it
was.
because the truth
Yeah.
is they're teenagers. That's
Yeah.
exactly what happened when teenagers get together, especially.
But what kind of shit are they in nowadays? Sniffing Ritalin. Like, I knew about Ritalin, but the sniffing part, I was like, yo, what in the hell is going on?
they really did more than we expected, and it's
Right.
like, and that's what was so interesting about you guys' characters because they're not afraid.
Yeah.
You know, both characters are like,
Yeah.
you know what, we're kids, we're young,
Right.
and we're both mad. And, you know, Zora has so much going on with being in this huge family, this megachurch. I mean, it's a lot. So I'm appreciative of the fact that that's very honest.
Yeah, and we're watching those growing pains.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure on them, but
Yeah.
of course, you know, my personal opinion, that's not the way to go about it.
Yeah.
Of course.
There's other ways to deal with things.
So Desiree is different. Isn't
Yeah.
Make
See,
it
it's
real
very
clear.
different.
I'm
Let's
not
be clear,
giving-
y'all.
Yeah.
Make it
What
real clear.
I loved about this episode was the way they kind of mirrored real life. So we've had all these shootings to mirrorize, and now we have David Nelson and
Yeah.
the pastor's taking him on, but the black community is not really about him. But you seemed really involved in those scenes. Like, did you feel that you were really mirroring life? Was it weird to be acting in those scenes and then watching the news?
Yeah, kind of. Because it's like you're like really a part of it. Now where I live, we don't have that, but on the show we did, and so it was kind of like, wow, this is crazy. Like, if this did happen, I think I know exactly what side I would be on, but like, I've never really thought to think of it from both perspectives.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, part of me does, but then there's another part of me that just wants to kind of like, oh, you know.
Yeah. They kind of flipped it on its head with the black cop.
Yeah.
What did you guys
Yeah,
think
with the
about
black
that?
cop, yeah, that's-
It wasn't just black and white.
It wasn't like a race issue. It was like right and wrong.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and
absolutely.
I think that was something that was really great of our show to do.
I think so too, because it made me, while we were watching it, it was kind of like, I had this image. I was like, oh, well, okay, it's a different situation, but at the end of the day, it's the same scenario in terms of somebody with power versus a civilian. That's like the truth. So I think it was really interesting for me to finally decide that with all the other stuff that's been going on, it's the race issue is absolutely there, but at the end of the day, it's a cop or a police officer that has a certain amount of power that a civilian does not, that there are other ways to handle it besides
sometimes
somebody
those
dying.
departments are conditioned to look at people of different colors differently. Even though you're black, as a police officer, you're just conditioned to look at
everybody
people
else.
differently.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Our show definitely touches on some things that are like currently going on.
Yes,
things that need
and that's
to be
exactly
talked
what
about.
I was getting ready
almost
to say.
too
Shout out to the
current,
fact
right?
that
Yeah,
they,
really current.
right,
Like,
but shout out to the fact that they did it because it is still an issue that needs to be addressed.
Yeah.
So why not address it in
a TV show.
right, in a different way that people can receive it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I can definitely
was
respect
cool.
that.
Yeah, what a powerful moment. I tweeted at Keith David. He liked my tweet. But the end scene when he did that, kind of flipped it on its head and he brought the congregation to his side.
Right.
And then he got all those police officers to, like, that was such an interesting moment for me, because honestly, like, I was just talking to a friend last week, Curtis Taylor, shout out to you, because we had this very powerful conversation about how he went to a church and the pastor brought a whole bunch of police officers, and it made him furious because he was not ready to accept that there can be some good in this. He just wasn't ready. And watching it, I was like, this is powerful.
Well, they're supposed to be a part of our community. They're supposed to be. We're
Yeah.
supposed to see the police officers and be like, "Oh, that's my friend who protects us."
Right.
You know?
They were meant to protect and serve.
Yeah.
Not to be scared of and make you want to feel like you have to run away.
And unfortunately, we have that opposite experience. But I just love the show for touching on that and the way they did it.
Yes.
Very powerful.
Our writer does like a really great job with this. His name is Craig Wright, but he's so amazing. All of our writers, they're absolutely amazing at putting things in our show that need to be addressed.
Yes.
And they do it throughout the whole entire season.
That's what's up. That's good to know.
Speaking of the writers, do you ever ad-lib?
Oh yeah.
You do?
Oh yeah, 'cause as especially the younger member of the cast, like, is there some stuff they just don't get? You're like, we wouldn't say it that way.
Right.
There is some stuff, and then some stuff they have reason for it. Like in one of the episodes, they said 2-turn, and me and Lovey were like, oh, but right now it would be lit, and they were like, no, but it's like it's a Memphis thing. I was like, I see. So it's like, our writers have opinions about things, and then like we'll tell them our things, and then they'll be like, but this is the reason behind it. And then we're like, oh, now I get it. I was like, I see, we don't think that far.
Right. So interesting.
So they're like, our writers are geniuses.
Collaborative.
Oh, that's so
awesome.
good. Yeah, that's so good.
Yeah.
Well, we had another big kind of relationship, which I loved, Karissa and Jacob. So I'm on a roller coaster because I don't know which way to go. I don't know who to root for. I don't know because like it.
I feel like.
But I love the scene. They get to that scene, and that one couple is like, they had that scene when the one couple was so in love. So now they're trying to do something about it.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think about Karissa and Jacob trying to remedy it?
I'm gonna let her talk first because
We
you know
all
I get
got a lot to
emotional.
say,
Yeah,
right?
right. That couple is like genius. They're amazing. Continue.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I feel like Jacob. He's messing around too much. Boy better get straight before he gets his butt whooped.
Yeah.
Sophia might have to come in there and do it herself because he's messing everything up. I mean, I think him and Karissa just need to be together. They have a family together. He works in the church. She works for the church. I mean, it's not like if they get divorced, she's kind of like unavoidable. So,
Right.
and then he's messing around with this other Becky with the good hair.
Okay, good one.
What's up,
Good one,
Kristen?
y'all.
I told you we were gonna come for you on Twitter.
I love her in person.
Oh, she's amazing. Oh, she's amazing.
And I mean, her character isn't bad either. Like
Her, yeah.
I like her. I like her as our secretary, but not my uncle's mistress.
But you know what's so interesting about the lines that she said this week? It was so cool because she was so honest about when Jacob was saying, listen, like, I want you to want me as much as I want you to want me. And she was like, I'm not here to stroke your ego.
Yeah.
I know I can't have you, so we're going to just do what we're doing. And that was so...
That's respectable.
Respectable.
Well, it was an admission of, I realized you played me and now I'm in too deep. You know?
Yeah,
It was just
exactly.
Like, you played me and I'm in too deep, so I'm just going to have fun.
I'm just going to be chill.
can't
I know you're not
want-
leaving your wife. Wow, I did not see that sentence coming.
Yeah.
And
Right.
Jacob has an ego problem. Like, now I finally figured out why I'm irritated by him. Because I thought it was just like, oh my God, the pressure of church and blah, blah. No,
You think it's ego?
Is it? Yeah.
I feel like I feel bad for him.
It's a mixture of a couple things. I do think the pressure's still there. And I love him as an actor as well. But the interesting thing about his character is, in every scene that he was not responding, every scene that he was silent, I was more upset because I'm like, you're not giving me anything, which means you're not giving Karissa anything, which means why are we rooting for you?
I think he likes the status quo. I think he likes having, his mistress and his wife. I think he likes having those two things.
But to touch on that, first off, he didn't want to go to therapy to begin with.
Yeah.
Remember that.
Yeah.
So the fact that he even took the initiative to go is enough. Baby steps.
Yeah, that's true.
He didn't want to go to begin with. So I can understand being silent. Let me just feel this out.
He's cheating.
You know what I'm saying?
And she knows.
Understood, but just for his defense right now.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Baby steps. You know what I'm saying? And like he said, when he had the conversation at the house, I'm there. Just because I'm not speaking does not mean that I'm not receiving. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it takes to just be still and be quiet. You know what I'm saying? And receive.
See, and I feel bad for Jacob just because, I feel like there's probably I know it's a TV show.
Right.
But I'm just looking at it like there's stuff that happens in the family that doesn't show in each episode.
Mm-hmm.
So there's probably stuff that he's dealing with that Karissa has maybe
what do you
mental
know?
abuse.
What do you know?
Because she's
Is this some tea? Is this some
from
tea,
episode
y'all?
7. What's going on?
Trust me, I'm speaking as of episode 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Smart.
Yeah. So no, just I kind of feel bad for him because I feel like his wife is putting all of this pressure on him to do better in the church and to be this and be that and be the greatest, and he's just like I don't know if I can do it. So maybe that's why he's kind of acting out and trying to confide in his mistress.
And she is like that. She's very attacking. Like we talk about that dinner table scene.
When she attacked Gigi.
No, right. You guys, I forget.
We're going to go back to that scene for the entire season. We're going to have to.
Okay.
Because it was such a pivotal moment in the entire series.
But then again, maybe she was already upset because she knew that her husband was cheating.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a balance. It's like
so
too much.
I don't know. I feel genuinely so bad for that couple in terms of just their depth is so real.
It's
I
so
love their
real.
Wait,
depth.
but y'all want to talk about something that is.
We'll take it.
Give us the tea. What is going on?
Okay. Okay.
Tell me.
Let's talk about Aunt Charity and Uncle Kevin having a baby.
Oh, and
When he's flicking the other. Oh.
Yeah.
That's we knew it.
We
knew it.
This week we didn't get a lot of Ty White in the episode. We didn't get Ty White in the episode. He's phenomenal. So I wanted to see where Kevin played in this week, but we only saw a few minutes with Charity. So
he did drop the bomb to the other guy.
Yes.
And then he had to tell the guy that he was eyeing, we're having a baby. I felt so bad.
Yeah.
I was like, dang, now you're messing up your marriage and
you're starting a family.
And
It's just
And I
too
love
much.
the way they film it, those lingering looks, that
I-
comfortable
Oh my
smile,
God,
just too
y'all.
long.
These
and
the looks.
they've never even said
No.
they're whatever Kevin is, we don't know if he's gay or bisexual. I'm just assuming that he's gay.
Right.
And so, I mean, we really don't know, but you can just tell
Yeah.
because
Just
of the
the,
chemistry.
The chemistry, the lingering,
Those
the
eyes.
Those looks,
Oh my
the
God.
eyes,
But
the little slight smiles.
And if they didn't film it in that particular way, it would just be normal friends. But just the way they show
I
it, you're
tweeted
like,
I tweeted Ty White last week and I said these eyes though. He said these long
Man.
he
Yeah.
understood what I was saying because it's hilarious how in depth the looks are.
Yeah.
Even when it comes to Lynn Whitfield, my goodness.
Yeah.
If looks
Every
could kill.
eyebrow,
If
I'm like,
looks could kill.
I need to get mine done. Obviously not. I can't do what she can do. I don't know. So anyway, bringing that back. What's up? Shall Shaka continue? Yeah, I just
He does look like
can't.
he looks like he has a love for Charity though, and so that I think I'm gonna end up hating this character because I
think
think he's gonna break her heart.
Yeah,
And
she's so innocent.
So I'm
Oh my
watching this
God.
slow train wreck. And I'm just
I know.
I think they're both gonna be broken. I mean, in one of the episodes when she's like, when they're talking about how they're best friends and they have such this great, like they have this great relationship because they're best friends. Like,
Right.
don't you
And I
think
see
letting
that
her
friends.
down, letting her down is going to obviously upset her because they do love each other. It's just not. It's not the kind of
same
love
way.
that he really needs.
Yeah, or that
she needs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good point. Because I
It's gonna
think
get
Charity
deep.
has a whole bunch of other things on her mind too. As much as we're like looking at Kevin now, we saw Charity's. She wants to stand out in the church. She's very
Yeah.
over the choir scene. She's very over, So
she
I
just
think
thinks she's gonna do it with her husband by
Yeah.
her side, though.
Right.
That's
I
the
think she thinks that.
Is she completely clueless? Like, she has absolutely no clue.
She has
I mean,
no
from what
idea.
we've seen,
She
it
has
doesn't
no
look like
clue.
she has a
Because
Yeah.
the guy
Yeah, I
sent him the
agree.
shots, and she's all, giddy
She's like,
about
how
it.
cool are
They
you guys?
know
I'm
who you
like,
sing
yeah,
good.
exactly. I'm like,
She has absolutely no clue, but you can see if you guys look at some of the promos, you just kind of get a glimpse of what's to come. But I can't talk about it.
Okay,
I'm like, yeah, dot, dot, dot.
Another little, group of three, Grace and Noah and David. I feel like it's all gonna crack for all these different little groupings in the
Goodness
one
gracious.
episode, but you already see it kind of bubbling around that Noah's like getting jealous, which I still don't get. It's 20 years.
It's
like,
not
what
your
did she
play.
do to you?
Both of them are tripping. Both of them, because
seriously.
she's like, look at your new woman. Wow, she's this, and I'm like, you don't mean that.
No.
And then he turns around and says the same thing. And I'm like, you don't mean that either.
Yeah.
You guys are just so the fake friendship is okay. And
There was-
It's petty.
we mentioned, I'm so sorry, I just want to say the first week that we met Sophia, or the first episode, first 5 minutes, we talked about last week how you were like, wow, Mom, did you used to date him? It's like, the
It was
fact
that
that you
obvious.
knew,
Right.
Yeah.
You was
So
like,
obvious.
and your mom
Yeah.
was like, it was that obvious? You were
that's
like,
a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
what-
continue, what were you going to say? I'm just going to take a pee.
honestly, like, I just, oof. Oh, don't even get me started on Grace and Noah. And the problem is that I know a lot.
Yeah, because nothing's really happened yet. So.
You can't talk anymore. You can't, because I'm looking at you. I'm waiting for a lingering look. I'm like, I'm trying to be like, I'm waiting for an eyebrow.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, so they're gonna
Tell me when
my
the camera's
God.
off. Tell me when the camera's off.
No. There's just, ooh, he's with Isabel, and
Isabel's
but,
great.
but him and Grace, they have a history, and then she went in there and she confused his feelings all up by talking about how she didn't leave because she didn't want him. She left because of her sister. I was like, Grace, why would you tell
open
me
that can of worms?
Yeah, exactly. You know what that's gonna do. And then she said it, and she sat there like she was telling him in a friendly way, like, I don't want there to be bad
This
blood.
is her mom.
But-
She's talking about.
I'm talking about my
Right,
mom.
you know
I'm
your
like, you
mama.
understand how
Right,
mad
you know
we
your
were.
mama.
I am
Yeah.
furious.
Like,
You
we
know
were.
your mama.
I thought,
Wow. We were mad last week, and so it's so funny
Why
because
she
you're
messing
like,
around?
she messing around.
Yeah.
We knew when they were sitting on the bench together. We were like, really?
I was so
And
mad about that.
You already know Noah's gonna go to her. I remember that little scene with
He's
the
like a
new
puppy.
girlfriend and her, and she goes, "Oh, we're complete opposites. How funny!"
Oh my
and
gosh.
you just know if you're complete opposites, he's going right back to her.
To what's going on,
Yeah.
because you obviously you're not gonna stick.
Yeah.
Can we talk the bishop? What can we figure that out?
Yeah.
Bishop, okay.
Shaka, lead us into that. What is going on?
So the bishop has me confused. you
Very.
know?
Everyone,
So
yeah.
he's doing this thing for David Nelson and trying to cut this deal, but now he seems at the very end to get some sort of conscience. And so, what did you guys think about how he's playing that angle with David Nelson?
To be honest with you, I'm completely confused. I'm completely flabbergasted at that
Go ahead.
situation.
And I'm hoping you can clear this up for me a little bit, because
Yeah.
I wasn't sure what type of guy the bishop was going to be in the beginning. And I remember when I interviewed Keith David, who is incredible, so good. You can tell by the lines, they're so serious.
Right.
And I told him, I said, I don't know if I like you yet. And he said, you have every right to feel that way. And now I'm still I now understand why I said that, because even then I'd only seen the first episode.
Yeah.
And now we're getting into it, and it's like the stuff he's willing to hide versus the stuff he's willing to save. Like, I did not expect him to root for David Nelson at all. And then he does.
That's what I'm saying.
And then
It's
he comes back, and
confusing.
I don't know
What angle is he playing?
Yeah, like
something ain't right.
He's
like-
playing human beings. That's what he's
Yeah,
playing. To be
yeah.
honest, he's playing a regular person who has a conscience, but also has a guilty side. I mean,
and now he's got to deal with
yeah.
Senator Banks, and now an audit. It looks like, and so what that audit's going to reveal for the church, that's going to be huge, because I think that might, like I said earlier in the last episode, that might set up the power vacuum where the bishop goes away for something.
Because
he's got to be doing something dirty with the money the way he's acting, right? And now he wants a new jet. So he's got to be doing.
I love the way I don't love, but did you guys notice the way he was treating the deacons? Like, what did you think about that? Is that ridiculous?
That deacon meeting was very interesting. That was an
Dinner
intense
table part two.
It seemed like there were two pastors going against each other, but really it was just the deacons and the one bishop.
Right.
Right.
And I mean, that's what you see sometimes, like with companies and corporations, these CEOs who have built something from the ground up, but then you have a board of directors to eventually answer to, and then they still feel like this is my company.
Exactly.
So
Like,
I can
brought
do what
y'all
I want.
in.
I brought you in. But actually now you have a board to be accountable to, and you have to do things above board. So I think he's going to get in some trouble, in that respect. But
I agree.
But he still seems like a man of integrity, but where that line is blurred.
Yeah,
that's
what I'm saying. Like the way he was treating the granddaughters, I was like, oh, that's dad, that's bishop, that's like family. And then you go to another scene and he's like, we can't find out about this. And I'm like, what's with the hiding look? What's with the eyebrows? Something's about to happen.
His character is very cleverly constructed.
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
Just like Sophia, I think Sophia makes a lot of bad decisions, but she's really good at heart. I think that's how the bishop is, and I think he doesn't mean to do well, but there's a part of him that wants to ignore things that are coming his way. He likes to ignore the facts, and then it gets him in a lot of trouble. I mean, but and I actually like the fact that he went for David Nelson, because if he had went and did what everybody else was doing, and then
it wouldn't make him who he is.
It wouldn't make him who he is.
Yeah.
And he turned it into like a sermon. He made it a message and told the people, there's not just one point of view. We have to look at it from both perspectives, and we have to understand that these are humans too. So
I appreciated that. It definitely taught me like it was a whole lesson today versus just like drama. That's what I really appreciated.
And I think that was like a good lesson to the viewers as well.
Right.
There's two perspectives. So
And we got a little bit of a backstory on Faith, which we hope Sophia doesn't go that route. Sophia's going on.
Yeah, that was.
But we got the pictures, and then the blackmail, and then we find out about the drugs and the vacant look behind the eyes. So now we're getting a little bit of backstory about what really was the fallout and damage from that, the uncle's acts. So you're ready to
Every
burst.
time you do that, it's not funny. What do you know? I don't want you fired.
like,
so
what do you know?
Tell me. I can't look at her anymore. Literally, she's like, I'm like, no, I can't be a part of this. Like, you know something.
More is coming.
I can't look at her. Shaka. Because it's just that whole scene really. Yeah, that took a lot. I don't know, because I said it last week. I was like, I'm waiting for Faith. Like, what's gonna happen with Faith? So I'm really excited that they gave us that.
We got a little
episode.
And you're getting more of the effect
so
of what's happening.
So what do we know so far?
Well, the flashback of Faith on the what was that, the previous episode, whatever episode it was, when they had the flashback where she was talking, and I think it was your mother and she was in the class or wherever she was, and she was kind of talking, teaching about faith or something. So that was really the only kind of image that that they painted for the viewers of faith. So now that we have kind of more,
we have the sexy pictures. On the bed
like
with
the pictures.
guy.
That was completely unexpected. Like, we didn't really kind of know what kind of life she led.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So to see this is like, whoa.
Okay.
I just
You're playing games.
Okay, wait, but we know
These
about
breaths.
Uncle. We still have to get on to another topic, which is Uncle Mac.
Yes.
But actually, yeah. Okay,
So we know he
let's talk
abused
about
her.
Faith.
Yeah.
So we know that he did some stuff. Grace said in one of the episodes that we've already seen that he it was either raped or molested.
Yes, allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
And
But
then
I mean, the girl kind of confessed.
Yeah.
Remember,
she
she
did.
was like,
No,
it's not, it wasn't his fault.
Oh yeah.
Right.
It wasn't what it looked
Right.
like, but that was a confession.
But it did happen. And she went to Grace, and she was like, this happened, and then Grace went to the parents, and then when the parents asked, so Bishop and Lady Mae, when they asked, Faith just said that she made it up and that she lied. So I don't know. I mean, but from what everybody has seen so far, I can kind of put two and two together for you guys, because I know all the stuff.
Put 3 and 5 together.
Yeah.
I can put 3 and 5 together.
Just give it to me all.
So okay, so you know, Faith used to be a really big part of the church, and her and Grace were obviously really close because, you know, she was like one of the only people that that Faith felt comfortable enough to confide in. So, and Grace is like the biggest sister. Let's see. So, you know, Faith was really big in the church. She was the leader of the Little Saints, which is our child's ministry. And I think after what happened with Uncle Mac, she kind of just fell apart. She just fell apart, and then she got into all of these bad habits, you know, not going through with what she felt about Christ, or, you know, her beliefs and all of that stuff. Just because all of this bad stuff happened in the church.
In the church,
like,
right.
You know, like, you're supposed to go to church and feel a little bit safe, but then she went there and then she got
church hurt is the worst.
So, so then she turned to these bad habits. She turned to drugs. She turned to drinking. She went broke. She had risque pictures and
I don't think we've seen the last of this guy. Too.
Oh,
This shady
absolutely.
character. He's like,
so shady.
He demands the 5,000. He's like, you know, I'll take the 5. Just give me the 500.
I didn't even like him. I was like, who?
Right.
How did she even walk around with you? Like, she's still a Greenleaf.
And I didn't like how Grace and Noah so easily let this guy just walk away.
That's what I'm like, you guys,
he's got to have more stuff, and he's gonna come back.
But you can tell that Grace had more to say to him. When he walked away, she had more that she wanted to get out. You can definitely tell. But it was like, what else could you possibly say?
But I mean, I
can understand.
followed
She
him
probably
or
was feeling so
something.
many emotions and just
Grace
overwhelmed. You know what I'm saying?
Grace is like really passionate.
You can see it all in her
about
face.
her sister.
Yeah.
But the thing is, what was interesting is now we know that Grace is finding out how she left Faith, in a sense. Like, you know, she left. She doesn't know what Faith was into. So now she's like, oh my gosh, like my sister was doing this and this and this. And I'm like, now that you're learning this, I think she's like putting the blame on herself a little bit.
And
you know,
it
we're
might-
seeing it in her face.
and
We're seeing it in her actions.
It might make her go back to Danielle and really try to push this issue because she's gonna see the future that Danielle could have.
Well, she said that she wasn't leaving
until it's resolved. So
until everything's fixed.
We shall see.
Right.
But I want to know from you, just we've heard so many good stories about the cast members and when they first met, that whole dinner scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, how was that for you, meeting the cast the first time?
Yeah.
It was crazy. It was so crazy. And everybody was so good, but like me and Lovey, we knew all of the lines from the scene because we were in this dining room and we had been shooting the scene for, like, we shot it for like 2 days because it was a 13-page scene.
Yeah.
And, you know, me and her clock out after 10 hours and 30 minutes or whatever because we're minors.
Gotta get the
So,
rules in. Gotta
yeah,
get the
right.
rules.
Right.
Which Greenleaf does follow. So don't need anybody coming for us. But so me and Lovey, whenever Sophia and Zora like left out of the room, we'd have to like go behind this corner in another room, and we'd sit in there and we'd like say all of the lines like we were each of the characters, and we'd be acting like Lady Mae, and we'd be like, and then we'd act like Gigi, and I'd be like. And then Karissa.
That is so accurate.
And then there's Jacob.
Nothing.
Back.
Nothing to say.
You know? And then there's Greg Allen.
Oh my gosh. This is too good right now.
Yeah, and then the Bishop.
That's dedication. That's dedication, y'all.
And
That's how you know they acted.
And then Charity.
So dramatic.
Daddy.
And then wait, Kevin is if y'all excuse me. So you know that we had each of the characters down.
That's awesome.
But like people especially laughed once I did Merle's, because I'd be like, I'd pretend to look at Uncle Mac. It was so funny. During that like last look where her and Uncle Mac looked.
I wish just them two at the table.
You know, and
I'm trying to be Greg, but I'm like, I can't even stop laughing.
I'd have like the tears going or whatever, trying to act like her, because she'd be so upset. She's such a great actress, But anyways, everybody at the table was such a great such great actors.
Yeah.
So I would just be looking at them. I'd be like, oh my god, I can't believe
Just
I'm working with
absorbing
these
all
people.
of it in.
Yes, and I was like,
oh.
this is what I have to look forward to these next 6 months. I'm gonna be learning, working with these great
being a
Emmy
sponge.
award-winning, being a sponge. I was like, sponge, soaking it all in.
Yes, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that you're taking that.
How was it Oprah on set?
Oh, she's amazing. She's like everything that you could ever hope for and more in an Oprah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Get it?
Totally get it. Totally get it.
She's amazing. So I actually had my great grandmother's 100th birthday
And
party.
she had a stripper.
We had a stripper.
I saw that on Instagram. I was
Yeah.
like, I mean, I saw it on Twitter.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is not her. No,
Yeah.
it's not.
She had like her 100. She was loving it. Let me just tell you, my great grandma. Shout out to you, great grandma Marvelyn Baylor.
Yeah.
But she was like totally, completely digging it. Like,
Oh my gosh.
she was like, my mom went up to her and said something like, "How'd you like it?" And then she said something like, "I really loved it. I'm such a bad girl." I was like, my great grandma like always says stuff like this. So let me tell you, like, this is not new to me. My great grandma is just hilarious. Like,
Yeah.
But
she's two-turn.
yeah, she's two-turn. She's lit.
Two-turn. That's our new
TT.
braids.
But yeah, one of the great things was that, you know, before the stripper, my cousin Drew, he did like this compilation of like all of these videos of our family from different places around the country, just saying, "Happy birthday, great grandma, we love you," or "Happy birthday, mom." And so like towards the end, he added another video, and it was a video that I asked for from Oprah. And Oprah, I didn't expect it to be like anything special. I just asked her, I was like, you know, because I mean, I totally expected her to do it because that's just who she is.
Yeah.
She's like totally willing to like do whatever she has to do, and you know, for the people around her. So she's really super considerate, and I love her. I adore her. She's absolutely amazing. But so I went up to her at our premiere, and I was like, "Hey, so my great grandma is turning 100, and I was wondering if you could just do like a really super quick shout out video." And she's like, "Okay," but she's like, "I want to go home and do it because I don't want to be here where it's really loud, because if I'm gonna say I want
That
her."
is so beautiful.
Yeah, she's like, if I'm gonna do it, I want her to be able to hear it and like know that it's really me, and better lighting and all this. So she so like the day of her party, I got an email, and it was with the video of her saying, you know, "Happy birthday, Marvelyn Baylor, from a house in Maui, your beautiful great granddaughter."
That's so nice. Wow.
And so I have the video, but I should probably post it. But I mean, that's just kind of like an example of who she is.
Oh my
'Cause
God,
as we-
that's beautiful.
Yeah.
As we know in Los Angeles, if someone promises you to do something later, it never happens. It
No,
never
but
happens.
Oprah really does. She follows through.
That's
Like when
beautiful.
someone asks her for
Awesome.
something, she will follow through, and she's like, she's just great. She treats you like you're really important, like all of the time. If you are talking to her, she's really invested in the conversation that she's having with you. She's been watching out for me this whole entire season. She's just been super great. I'm honored to work with her.
I think we just heard like the tips to success of being like a genuine good person, and that's how you get successful.
How about you
Yeah.
just care about
That's
people?
amazing.
Really?
Yeah.
Seriously though.
That's,
Seriously,
I mean,
though.
because like think about, I've worked with Dolly Parton and Oprah,
Wow.
and let me just tell you, like you would think that they're some of the most famous people
Dolly
that
Parton.
I've met, but they are also some of the most genuine people that I've ever met, and I think that is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah,
Like
that's awesome.
I don't understand how these huge, you know, successful women are so completely caring, but then like you run into people in everyday life and they don't care about you. Some of them. I'm not going to speak for all of them.
Right.
But
There's a vast majority.
yeah.
Very vast
We
majority.
are
There's
getting,
a, yeah.
we are getting some life lessons here today.
I'm so
Greenleaf.
impressed
this.
because I think
Yeah.
I
We
think
need
the fact
this.
that you've worked with these women of this caliber is an insight of what kind of woman you're going to be.
Yes.
Yeah, and that you're taking it in and observing it.
Yes,
and
and you're
yeah.
so like you're
Yeah.
taking it in and spitting it right back out in the most beautiful way, and I'm very, very impressed. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
So as
But-
we
Oh, go ahead. I was just gonna say they're like my mentor. I mean, they're like my
Yeah.
mentors. Dolly still sends me like letters and stuff in the mail, just congratulating me on stuff that I've been doing, and
Aw.
she's willing to help me out. Like whenever I did my audition for Greenleaf, like she was like, you know, my agent said something like how they were gonna put Dolly on the line to talk to Oprah to give me a recommendation for the thing, because I literally did like one tape for this role, for the role of Sophia on Greenleaf, and then they like, well, then the casting director sent it to Oprah, and then Oprah was like, I want to hire her. So then we had Dolly call Oprah, and just to like, yeah. But
Really
that's
awesome.
this is like, this is, but this is how much they care.
Right.
Like they don't just work with you
have
and
to do
forget
none of
about
that.
you. They don't have to do any of
none
this.
of that.
And
That's amazing.
and they're like extremely busy, but they take out the
Yes.
time in their day so that they can make an effort and like make a difference in whatever you're doing.
That's beautiful.
They just don't forget about you.
Mama Oprah.
Right. I
They're
love
amazing.
that. Oh, that's so good, guys. Wow.
Well, as we wind up, let's go ahead and we three are going to give our predictions, and then you can give your predictions last.
She's not going to tell us anything.
Okay, wait.
She knows
Okay, go
everything.
ahead.
She's not going to tell us
I'm gonna try and
Prediction
make
time.
Predictions.
So, I'll start.
Crazy.
Predictions.
I'll start with my predictions. I don't really have any crazy predictions.
Yeah.
I just know. I think that. Do I call him a crackhead? I don't know. But the guy, the
Yeah,
guy
we
that's
don't know who he
extorting
is.
the money, he's gonna come back around and cause some serious trouble for this Greenleaf family.
Mm-hmm.
They should have dealt with him a little bit better, I think. Now, and I think he'll come back for more. So, how about you guys?
You know how I am. Deep breath, man. It's just so much. Last week I said I really wanted to know more about faith. I thank you. But I'm also nervous because I don't know where that's going to lead me. But now with the fact that Noah is invested in the situation, he went with her to find out the information. I need to figure out how much longer do we need to pray for Isabel before it's like over? Like before she's just about to lose her man. I don't know. So I don't necessarily have a prediction. I'm just really excited to see where that circle of people, how that develops. And then that love triangle. And then I guess last but not least, so we're in episode 4. I think by episode 9 Charity's gonna find out about Kevin.
Okay.
That's an interesting
I think
prediction.
sooner.
You think sooner?
That's an interesting
You think
prediction.
sooner? Okay,
Yeah.
wait, we're in 4, you're right. But
Yeah.
he wasn't even in this episode, so
Right.
okay, 7?
7. I think 7.
Because I need to figure out when I need.
Yeah.
You better not.
Wait.
I can't.
Wait, 6?
Next week?
5?
Oh my gosh. Okay, let Carter go. It's gonna be.
I think my favorite, I kind of have like a favorite, I guess you could say like group or clique. Because, even though they're one big family, everybody has like it's kind of, so my favorite, I'm really interested in this therapy situation with Karissa and Jacob. I want to see how this unfolds. I want to see how if he's going to open up.
Free the side piece.
You know what I'm saying? I want to know. I really want to know how that's going to pan out.
Alexa's so pretty. Like, let her just go be with somebody who can actually like have.
I don't even know why she's wasting her time.
I know, honestly.
She would be a stepmama to
So-
little Winky
Like,
and
come
Dora
on.
too.
And no one's gonna accept you at the table. They're gonna be like, "Weren't you the
This-
secretary? What's going on
At church, at
the
that.
church?" And you think you can just sit with
At
us?
a church, y'all.
Absolutely not.
And
So-
At a
and
church.
let me just remind you, a white secretary in an almost all
All-black
black church
church.
run by an all black family.
Already
And then got the
some
nerve
scrutiny
to be in a
now.
scandal.
Yeah. Already.
These characters are
So now, if you weren't in the show, what would be, and you were
I
just
can't
watching
even.
as a viewer, your predictions?
Oh, right.
yeah, right. She's not gonna say
Sorry. My prediction. Well, this is kind of interesting since I already know everything that's about to happen.
So don't spoil it because we
Yeah.
want you to keep
I
your
don't
job.
want to.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. Spoil.
Just tell us what we should be excited for. Just maybe that's it.
Yeah, what we're excited
A
for.
sentence and a half. That's
Stories.
like a sentence and a half with a period at the end or dot.
I think you should be excited for everything.
Word. I'm cool with that.
No, wait,
I'm
but
cool
I
with
just
that
got.
though.
She is learning a lot on set.
She is. I'm so impressed right now.
Because these problems that you guys are talking about, you want to know about Jacob and Karissa. You know, something's gonna happen with that. You want to know
For
about
sure.
Noah and Grace.
Mm-hmm.
Something
Something's
may
gonna
or may
happen.
not happen with that.
That laugh.
Right.
She's good.
I wasn't
laugh and the
laughing because I
looks.
was trying to tell you anything. I was laughing because y'all don't know and I do.
This must be
Good.
juicy.
I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with y'all.
Well,
I have an unfair advantage here. So.
well, we were so happy you joined us. Like, this was
Yes.
amazing.
Thank you so much
Yeah,
for coming.
Am I able to do one thing?
Yeah.
My brother told me last time I was on like a live interview that I should shout out his Musically. He's 11.
Aww.
Do
I
it.
love my little brother. He was mad. He was like, Desiree. He was like, last time you were on. He's so cute. I love my little brother. So you guys should go follow his Musically. His name is Desmond Ross, but I don't really know what his his Musical.ly handle is, but just look for him.
Tweet it out.
I'm
Yeah, tweet it after this. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but I love my little brother, and he makes really dope Musical.lys. So.
Nice.
Shout out to that sibling love. That's what I'm talking
Yes,
about.
that's so
That's what I'm
sweet.
talking
I
about.
love it. Tweet it out. We'll all retweet it.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, we got your back.
definitely.
We got your back.
Oh my God, I love you guys.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Guys, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Shaka Strong.
You guys, this was so awesome. Thanks so much for tuning in. You guys can check me out on Twitter and Instagram at When Takes Stace.
And you guys can follow me everywhere at Mr. Carter.
And I could go through all of mine again, but it's kind of a lot. Official Desiree Ross on Facebook, The Desiree Ross on Twitter, and Desiree Ross _ on Instagram. And I really need to make those all the same.
And don't forget to follow Desmond on Musical.ly.
Don't.
Yes.
See you guys next
See you
week.
guys next week.
Peace.
From executives Kevin Undergaro, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio. Instagram me at KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in.
Hollywood
Redefined.
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.